So today's topic is going to be quite interesting. Okay, and I discovered a whole lot of stuff with this. It's called Kalonji seeds, but the scientific name for it is Nigella Sativa. Okay, and probably the name has come from one of the components that are present in the seed itself. They also call it black cumin, but I'd rather, if you're going to actually look up this, look for this Kalonji seed, and they'll put in brackets. Nigella Sativa will be there in brackets. So this is actually the real one that you want to take. Okay, it's very widely available in India. You'll get it on Amazon Fresh. You get it on Swiggy, but I don't like the versions that you get on the doorstep apps. They're kind of instantly packaged, but you get some good organic ones. Uh, and unfortunately, I made my attempt today because I was so excited about this, and Amazon failed to deliver it. So they don't know where the packet is. And so I'm going to have to wait another day or so, unfortunately. Now, what's so good about this? Okay. It actually can reduce your bad cholesterol and at the same time increase your good cholesterol. Okay. It helps your liver function. Okay. It breaks down toxicity. It's a very, very good antioxidant. Okay. So it helps the liver break down a lot of toxins that are there that are in the air. They can be in the food, they can be in the water, they can be anywhere. There's nothing you can do about it, but the best way is to combat it by having the right armament with you. Okay. Now, incidentally, it improves your memory as well. Simply because one of them is that you have reduced the toxicity in your blood. So once you've done that, it starts to improve your brain function as well. Okay. It also controls pigmentation. So it's good for your skin. So if you're somebody who's a little intolerant to the sun sometimes and you get spots and things like that, it will not allow the melanin to react so fast. So it's actually even good for the skin. It's a natural histamine. So what it will do is it will reduce inflammation in the body as well. Okay. And putting all these together, they become a good battleground to fight any kind of cancer. Okay. It's because of the antioxidants and reducing inflammation, and that reduces the cytokines that kind of attack your body. So it fights cancer as well. Now, something that I saw, which was really, really interesting, was that it can kill almost any virus very effectively. Effectively, I means that it does take time because it is a natural remedy, but it gives the body a very, very good fighting chance against almost any kind of virus. And if you go and look up YouTube or just do a Google search on this Kalonji seed or even, Nigella Sativa, you will find that there have been studies where people have actually taken this with to combat HIV. And some people have actually conquered HIV through this. So it's a very cloudy study, but a lot of claims have been made. And it really if it doesn't cure, it will give you a solid amount of relief. And they've seen people, a lot of their stigmas that come with it have been reversed drastically. So besides viruses, it of course kills bacteria in two ways. One is, of course, it naturally breaks down the reproductive cycle of the bacteria, and it also helps your gut health. So it's twofold. It's not only killing the bacteria, but it also gives your gut a better chance to fight back. Okay, so because it will breed good bacteria, and that's another line of defense. And because of that, one effect, because the good bacteria goes up, there's another significant benefit from that. And that benefit is that the cholesterol starts going down. Now, your first line of defense or your first line of holding back bad cholesterol and toxins is your gut bacteria. So this really helps you with that. Now, it also prevents, and another fold is that it prevents even you getting stomach ulcers, because as you know, most ulcers are caused by certain bacteria that live on the lining of your stomach. So it interrupts that reproductive cycle, and it actually helps heal the ulcers that you might have. They also say that it's good to keep to have this because it'll also affect the gallstone formation as well. So now another thing is that it's extremely radically good for type 2 diabetes and sugar. Okay, and it supports, it's not a cure, but it's an excellent support for your type 2 diabetes and controlling your sugar. Your body gets a better control of it. So it definitely aids the pancreatic cells in giving it a little more energy. Now, how does that happen? Again, you've reduced the toxicity, you've improved the amount of nutrients that will actually get to the pancreas, and therefore, and thus, and so it all adds up. Now, what I found also was extremely interesting is that it promotes hair growth. Okay, and but this is not only through the oral, but this is through topical application. I'll tell you about that. There's a kind of concoction you got to make, and I'll talk about that in the next slide. It also reduces the graying of the hair. Now that was very interesting. Now these things they don't happen overnight. They take months. Okay, you've got to be patient, and since it's not toxic and it's not generally you won't get irritated with it. So applying it in your scalp, twice a week is a recommended thing. Okay. How do you actually consume this? Okay. So the recommended way to do this is to take the seeds and roast them for 10 minutes on a slow flame. Now, the reason that they have recommended that you do this is because there is a certain amount of oil inside these seeds. You also get the black seed oil. You get the oil as well. If you want to have that, you can also have that. But it's good to be in control of it, powder and whatever. So you roast it for about 10 minutes, let it cool down, put it in a nice blender and powder it down to a powder. Okay. And they recommend that you take this with honey and not just the sugar loaded and the fake honeys. You got to go and find a pretty decent non-processed raw honey, and you will get that also online. If you're lucky, you might get it in a store, a specialty store, you might get it. So the ratio is that it's 60-40. So typically, if you just take 2 teaspoons of the powder and 1 teaspoon of the powder and 1 teaspoon of the honey, mix it together, try to get a kind of almost 2 teaspoons of quantity and have it twice a day. That's it. And they recommend that you continue this cycle for at least 6 months. If you have an underlying problem, then knowingly you should take it for 6 months, because it takes time for the body to battle it, any virus or bacteria, and then they have a chance to survive. So to prevent that survival, they just extend it for about 6 months. But the astonishing facts are that you can start seeing results, especially if you have something chronic. You'll start to see results in a few days. You'll start seeing it in 5 days, 7 days, 10 days. You start to see an effect. And it's very dramatic, according to a lot of people. So it's quite pleasant to have. It doesn't taste too bad. Not to close your eyes and close your nose and look up to heaven and take it. And it tastes nice when you have it with honey. And the natural honey also helps. It's very antibacterial, antiviral, and it helps promote penetration. Okay. The honey is the one that will give the pathways for a lot of this oil that exists in that powder to actually penetrate the cells and get into your bloodstream. So it's important to have that additive. You can also have black seed oil. It can be added to black tea. So, or even green tea. You can just add 1 or 2 drops to it and have it like an aperitif, whatever. Now for the hair part, this is a little complicated because you have to take methi seed and kalonji seed and do the same thing. You have to roast it a little bit for about 10 minutes. Don't darken it and don't make it burn, but just let the heat get through it. Just a little bit, not as long as 10 minutes, but say probably about 4 or 5 minutes. Then make them into powders. Okay, an equal quantity, methi and kalonji seed are equal quantities. And you have to add coconut oil. Now, they typically say for about 50 grams of methi and 50 grams of kalonji seed, or about 100 depending, you put about 200 ml. So you put twice the quantity of oil that you've put for the methi and kalonji. So let's say together you have 100 grams of methi and kalonji put together. Then you add about, 200 ml of coconut oil. Okay. And you add about 50 ml of castor oil. Okay. Now, when you put it into this, you have to heat it. Now, here's the problem about heating. You can't really put it through a stove. You can't definitely not put it in a microwave. So what you have to do is you have to put a hot boiling pot of water and place this bottle, put it in a bottle, a nice little glass bottle, maybe an olive bottle, empty olive bottle. It's ideal for this. And just keep it there till it cools down. Now, the only tough part about this process is that you have to keep it in the sun outside for about 5 days. Now, that is, of course, we are all impatient in life, but you can just kind of close it, shut it, and forget it, and remind yourself probably the next week and pull it out from the sun. Now, what happens is allows the nutrients in these seeds to actually seep and infuse. So the infusion process of the oils and the seeds together are extremely important, because then you'll get the full potency of it. Now, once you've done that, you rub it into your scalp twice a week. You can even rub it through your hair as well. Of course, it can be slightly greasy because the castor oil will thicken it a bit. But it won't smell too bad. I think the coconut oil kind of gets, and if you can use a good quality virgin coconut oil, even better. Okay, but a good cold press coconut oil or anything would be ideal. So what you do is you apply this twice a week, and it's supposed to take effect in 3 months. You get better hair growth. Your grays get a little healthier, as they say. So as much as I've absorbed all of this, I'm actually going to be the guinea pig, and I'm going to do this. Unfortunately, my delivery didn't turn up today, so I'm a little. I would have been a little soaked in the oil on my scalp today. I would have been happy about trying it. But well, things happen for the best sometimes. So that was my recent discovery, and I was quite excited. I went through this yesterday, and I was just looking at it, and I just saw something weird, just passing through a YouTube kind of thing. And I saw this, and I kind of started to read it, and I got engrossed for hours with it. So I tried to make this as compact as possible, so that it's something that you can go and do some research on as well. You can find out what are the other concoctions you can make with this. So the moral of the story that the very abundant Kalonji seed is very, very available, and it has a lot of great properties for us to take, and it's natural. So if you have any questions, for me, I'll be more than happy to take it.